Hi, and welcome to It Figures. Tonight I have a very special review for you, and it's going to be of the 1/18th scale of the General Lee. So about 2 or 3 years ago, I got the die-cast collector's bug and started going out and collecting a lot of these larger scale die-cast cars from movies and television shows. And these cars are still some of the favorite things I have in my collection. And of course, you couldn't have the collection without the classic General Lee. So let's take a closer look at it. So like I said, this is a 1/18 scale of the General Lee, and it's made by Ertl. And there was a few things that I had to have on this car while buying it. First, I had to have the black grille in the front. That was a must. As you can see, they did a great job with the grille. It's actually placed in there. The other thing that I had to have on the General Lee, and a lot of these don't actually have this, is the black on the back by the taillights. I really love the paint on the back of the General Lee. I think it just sets off the taillights, just having a strip of black there. And believe it or not, it was actually pretty hard to find one of these cars that was painted correctly. So the orange on the General Lee is absolutely spot on. And of course the 01 on both sides is perfect. And these are not decals, they're actually painted onto the doors. On the front of the General Lee, you can see they have a blinker, and it's not inset into the car like the grille was. This is actually just painted on. But if you take a closer look at it, you can actually see the great detail in that. The same thing with the back. And again, while buying this, I had to be careful that the insides of the rims there were actually painted black. The wheels are actually made out of real rubber. Taking a closer look at the back of the General Lee, the tail lights are not plastic, they're painted in, and you can even see that they have the keyhole painted. They also have the plastic chrome painted gas cap. The door handles are also plastic chrome, and it even has a small decal underneath of it for the key. And of course, the General Lee would not be the General Lee without the Confederate flag on top. Once again, the paint here is super sharp and everything is in place. And what's kind of cool about this is even though the doors are separate from the car and it looks like you can open them, because it's the General Lee, you actually cannot open the doors. So it's kind of hard to take a look at the inside, but you can see it has a tan interior, the nice steering wheel and gear shift. Steering wheel has quite a lot of dust on it, you can see, but it also has some of the decals in it of the dials, and you can take a look at the gear shift and see it's once again chrome plastic painted. Along the windshield you can see more chrome painted plastic and a vent that's actually metal but is painted black. One little more small detail is it has paint for the blinkers on the hood. Speaking of the hood, let's see what we have under it. Unfortunately, the engine is not as impressively detailed as the rest of the car, but it's still cool that you were able to open the hood up and take a look at it. The bottom of the General Lee is actually really well detailed, from the mufflers to the shocks to everything. And if you move the tires, the tire rod also moves with it. The Dukes of Hazzard still holds up today as one of my all-time favorite TV shows, and this car is a great tribute to it. The only thing that it's really missing is the antenna on the back of the trunk, which I'm actually surprised because there's so much detail on everything else. I'm not sure why they decided not to put the antenna here. So let's bring up the old Figometer and see how the General Lee stacks up. If you're looking to buy a General Lee, make sure it does have the black on the back where the taillights are, and the black in between the rims. And like I said in the beginning of the review, make sure the front of this is black as well, because a lot of these are sold with cheap silver grills. So even with missing antenna, I would still give the General Lee a 5 out of 5. I can't really remember how much I paid for this all those years ago, but I know these things are pretty expensive now. So if you like tonight's It Figures, please subscribe so I can see you next time.